Ahoy, mateys. Welcome aboard my podcast. I am Jason with Jay's Paradise Travels. I'd like to thank you for tuning into this week's episode. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience visiting Thessaloniki. I just recently got off a cruise on Celebrity Cruise Line. I did even a podcast on it. If you haven't had a chance to listen to it, feel free to go back and listen to it. Our first stop that we went on that trip was the island of Thessaloniki. Originally, it was going to be uh, Volos on one of the first stop of the cruise, but something happened, and that trip to Volos got canceled. So they ended up going to Thessaloniki for the first day instead. The second day was going to be Thessaloniki anyway, so it ended up being an overnight stay, and we stayed 2 days visiting Thessaloniki. It was my first time visiting there, as well as my first time doing an overnight stay in a port. I'd never done that before. I'd seen itineraries that had extended stays like that, never had a chance to experience it. Last year when we went on MSC, we were supposed to stay 2 days at their private island, but weather canceled the first day, so I didn't get a chance to spend 2 days there. So this was actually my first time being able to do 2 days and one stop. Before I get into all of it, I'm going to do a little housekeeping just to get it out of the way. If you would like to go see Thessaloniki, perhaps on a cruise or another way, or any other type of vacation, you can reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you out with it. There's two ways you can do so. One is through email. My email address is j.paradise@gmail.com. That's jay.paradise@gmail.com. Or you can reach out to me through social media. I have both Instagram and Facebook accounts. They're both the exact same thing. Jay's Paradise Travels, Jays, no apostrophe in there. Jay's Paradise Travels. You can reach me through there as well as see some of the pictures that I post from my trip. Okay, let's get into this. So again, Thessaloniki. First time going there, get to spend 2 days there, and I'm with a group of 9 of us all together. And the morning that we got there, we we didn't get there like super early in the morning. And this actually is like the northern part of Greece, and Athens more near the south. So that when we left the first day, which was we left Athens, the port of Athens, on Friday, and sailed our way up to Thessaloniki, and we arrived on Saturday and spent Saturday and Sunday there. Saturday, we got in again, not like super early. Sometimes you get to port and you're there by 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. We actually got there just a little bit later than that. So we had enough time to sit down and have breakfast in the dining room, um, which I know my dad, he always appreciates being able to do. We, as we're sitting down, we're coming into port and we're passing by actually Mount Olympus. We can see Mount Olympus from the cruise line. Mount Olympus, according to Greek mythology, that was where all the gods lived. They lived on Mount Olympus. So it was kind of cool to be able to see Mount Olympus in person. Not that I have any dealings with Greek mythology, but still to be able to see it was kind of neat. Later on, we would kind of drive by it as well. Anyway, so we had breakfast. Got to see Mount Olympus. It was a nice day out. We could see that sun was shining and wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. The springtime is a good time to go to Greece. There's not as many people there. It's not as hot. In the summertime, it can be very hot. Plus, prices, flights can be pretty reasonable to go there. So it is a good time to go if you're thinking of going and allow me to book you a trip to Greece. So it was going to be a nice day. We could tell that. So we eat breakfast, get ready, and our entire party had a tour lined up to go see an excursion in Vergina. We all get together at the theater. So in Celebrity, they had like all their tours come to the theater, and they would give you tickets in your room. You would give them to whoever's in your party. You just one person from the party could go up, hand them the tickets, and they would get a number, and that number, it's like a little sticker you put on, would correspond to the bus that you'd be going to see once you get off the ship. Um, we were a little discombobulated. It was our first time, but we did eventually get everyone together. Kind of one might have to use the bathroom, or we were waiting for someone to get back from breakfast or getting water, or whatever the case was. But eventually, we kind of all got together, despite a little bit of a rougher start, a bumbling start. But we got there and started heading out. And where the deck or where the theater is, like deck four, we had to go down to the first deck to get out, which isn't it's not too hard to get out. As we're heading out, and they're scanning every one of us out, we head to the bus, and I'm noticing that there's a couple that are with us that weren't behind us anymore. They hadn't come out yet, and waiting. Finally, the husband comes out, and the wife had like forgot her phone, so she went to go back to get it, and it was going to come back and meet us. Well, we were kind of already near the time where we had to leave. We told the bus driver, we told the tour guide what was going on, and they were trying their best to wait for her. But as time got on, it was starting to get close to leaving, and eventually one of the representatives from Celebrity just said, "We have to go," and there wasn't anything that we could do about it. So we ended up having to leave, and um, at that point, we were trying to get a hold of her, just couldn't do it. So we had to sadly leave without her. When I talked to her later on, she did eventually go into town and get to ride the bus around and take a little tour of the city. So I'm glad she was okay. And she got to see some stuff, but felt bad that she wasn't with us that time. Anyway, so we head on out. We drive through Thessaloniki and we start making our way up to where we were heading in Vergina. And it's not exactly around the corner either. It's a good probably hour drive to get there. Um, and on the way, our tour guide, her name was Chryssa. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. It's like Chryssa or Chryssa. Chryssa. See, she spelled it for me. Let me see. Chryssa. Chryssa. Anyways, she did a fantastic job. I really appreciate her as a tour guide. She was probably one of my favorite ones that we had throughout this trip and the different tours that we took. Super energetic, super energetic. It kind of reminded me of like being around the Energizer Bunny. It just kept going and going and going. And I mean, considering what she was giving us a tour of, I mean, it's needed because if someone was monotone with it, then you could easily lose interest and get quite bored. But she kept the interest up, and she kept the energy up too, which again I appreciated. On our way over there, we were getting all kinds of facts and history lessons about the city. I don't believe Thessaloniki is an island. I believe it is still inland. It's like the northern part of Greece, not far from I believe Macedonia too. And anyway, so we were getting a bunch of things. We drove by as we were looking out. You could see different mountains in the backdrop. Again, we could see Mount Olympus, and we kind of did drive around it. We never went to it, but we kind of did drive kind of around it. There were different rivers that she said. What was going on? We passed a few different rivers. There was some history behind those as well, and we got a history of the people. When it comes to some of that, well, first off, I'm not going to remember every single detail, but even if I did, I wouldn't want to relate it because I might relate some of it, but I'd want to leave it for the tour guides and what they do. So if something you're interested in, you want me to book it for you, I'd be happy to. And then when you get there, I'll give them the dignity to be able to share you all the information that they have. Plus, they're like certified tour guides that are doing this too. And they know their stuff, and I appreciate that. We go an hour away. We get into this little town, Vergina, and we ended up parking the bus, getting out. They gave us like this little device, I guess you could call it, that we could put around our necks. It had like a lanyard we could put it around our necks, turn it on, and put headphones connected to it. And through it, when we put it in her ear, she could start talking in her microphone, and then we could hear it here. So even if we were kind of further away from her, we could always hear her in our ear. I got a kick out. She would call it her whispers. So that thought that was kind of cute. Anyways, so we had that. We could hear her. there was a good, I don't know, 20 of us maybe altogether in our bus, something like that. But there was different bus tours that were going, and they all had their own different tour guides. And I'm sure each tour guide had their own personality, their own flair with it, their own knowledge of everything. She recognized some of them, seemed like she knew some of them, and was even good friends with one of them. Anyway, we leave the bus and we start heading down. We kind of walk a little bit through this little town and kept going down. And eventually we come across uh, this open area that, well, she had our tickets already, because this is a pre, this was they already had handled that because this was from the cruise line. So they already got our tickets for this place, some like archaeological site, wide open. I'm thinking this is going to be like more of an outdoor type of tour, a type of excursion, because usually when you go to Greece and you see all these ancient ruins, you're outside. But no, uh, we went through this. I guess I didn't really know what we were doing. We had booked it for everybody, but it was somebody else in our party that had had suggested doing this. So just okay, that's fine. I didn't really look deep into what we were doing, which is fine with me. I like surprises anyways. But we go like inside this little tunnel area and going in there. It's getting dark, and we go and what we're seeing are these tombs that got excavated some years ago by archaeologists. And it ended up being that it was well, there was a city back then, years ago, many years ago, centuries ago, that I guess, I mean, there's a bunch of regular citizens, the peasants, and their areas. We go in there and you see like a bunch of tombstones for these individuals and different grave sites for them, as well as other things that they've unearthed, um, artifacts and things like that. But the main attraction, I guess you could say, was that there was two tombs of royalty, famous people that were there. If you've ever heard of Alexander the Great, he was one of the rulers of Greece that conquered many nations and was very famous, spreading the Greek army all around. He was uh, pretty good strategist when it came to war and conquered a lot of different things. Anyways, the tomb ended up being both his father, Philip II, as well as his son, which name is escaping me right now. And there was a bunch of artifacts and different things that we got to see that what they unearthed, they could see that this was who it was. It was royalty. At one point, we even got to see they had made up their own like model of what um, it looked like inside of it. It's like it was almost like this big mausoleum kind of thing. Um, Got to look at that, but then eventually we did get to go down and see it. I mean, it's just like this huge wall-looking thing. uh, it almost looks like you're a house. Almost you can go inside of a house, but it was a tomb. And yeah, sure enough, it was his father, Philip II, and then on the other side, a little bit further on, it was his son, whose again name is just escaping me right now. Yeah, well, whatever. Anyways, so it was kind of interesting too, like because they were royalty, they had back then they're slaves, they had uh, servants, um, and I think whoever was the way that it was, like there, I don't know if it was this one or if it was somewhere else, but um, they would like the servants and the dog would also like be buried with them, or the king's wives or concubines or something would also be. It was like an honor for them to be buried with them. Um, whatever. That was the times back then. I don't think we'd be doing that nowadays, right? But back then, I guess that was kind of a thing. But we got to see all kinds of artifacts with it, including maybe their crowns or their I guess back then it was almost like a headboard that they had for the tombs. Um, they even had their faces like kind of carved out in stone, and some of it like little tiny ones. Uh, their armory, not their armory, but armor that they wore, and just a wide variety of things: pots, pans, things that they held, maybe perfume or oil in there. And of course, we saw a lot of different tombstones as well. If you love history and are a big history buff, definitely a place to go see. I don't mind history. I can appreciate it when I'm around it and I see it. It's not my passion. I don't feel towards history what I feel towards going on a cruise. Although if I go on a cruise and I see something historic, I can appreciate it like I did with this. But I'm not gung ho on it. It's not my passion. But I did appreciate it. But if history is something that you love, then you would no doubt love to go here. My wife does love history. I think she would have enjoyed seeing this. She wasn't with me on this trip. It kind of came about last minute. I got to go join my dad with it. Someone else was going to go. They couldn't make it, and it just kind of worked out that I was able to go along with him. Um, but yeah, if you love history, this is definitely some place probably you want to see, and if you do, let me know. After we left there, they had a bathroom and a little place that you could grab some snacks nearby. A lot of the group went in to use the bathroom. She gave us maybe 20, 30 minutes because we had a group and there wasn't a ton. In fact, even the men's line, there was a line. Usually it's the women has a long line, the men super quick, but even the men had a line. Went in there and a woman came out of the stall. She was like, "Surprise! I didn't feel like waiting in the women's room." And we were like, "All right, whatever." And she washed her hands and left. Now, had that been opposite and any man would have went in the woman's room, oh my God, we would be hauled off to jail. But I guess it could be done the other way around. No one thinks anything of it. So we, used the bathroom, um, grabbed a snack or something to drink. It was a warm day. As I mentioned, it was a nice day. It was still warm. It wasn't overly hot, wasn't overly cold, which I appreciated. And um, got to just kind of enjoy being outside for a bit since we were inside for probably around, I want to say it's probably a good 2 hours you're in there. Um, Lot to see, and we didn't even see everything. And there was other tour groups there as well as just regular visitors coming. So it was pretty packed. A lot of different things that they've got on the walls and behind cases that you can see, you could read about. So you could definitely spend a good amount of time there. We had a tour guide, which I appreciated because I did read some stuff, but I appreciate someone who's an expert at it and knows it, and they could just tell me it. And as I'm looking, they can explain it. And I took pictures. Again, I'm not going to put myself in the role of being a tour guide and tell you everything. I don't remember everything, first off, but even if I did, again, I want to leave that to them. So again, if it is something that you'd like to go see, I'd be happy to help you with it. And those experts can be the ones to give you the rundown on everything about those artifacts and all the history behind what we saw. So, anyways, at the end, she gathered us all together, and we start heading our way back up towards the bus. And in doing so, maybe a person here stopped to grab something to drink or something to munch on, whatever. But we all headed back to the bus and started making our way back to the ship. Um, and we did see a couple things on the way. I know I had seen this one cute little house that had what is the roof called? Terracotta. And some pretty flowers in front of it. Took a picture of that. I really like that. And there were some other flowers that she mentioned. I tried to take a picture of it. We were in a bus, so it's hard to get to. And there was a little bit of history or facts that she went about those. Can't remember what it was, but anyways, I thought they were pretty. Um, and just tried my best to get the most out of it. But by that point, I was a little tired. And on the way there, she was talking a lot, told us a lot of historical facts, told us a lot about the city, a lot of things with geography, all that. She was going over it, and I was stayed awake. I did notice some people were falling asleep on the way there, which was fine. But at the end of it, I was a little tired after a couple hours of touring and being able to hear everything, see everything, being in the sun, it kind of drains you. So on the way back, I was a little tired, and she talked, but not much. And she talked a little bit here and there to start, and then she kind of let everyone just rest, which I thought was really nice of her. Um, and then as we got closer to and back to the port, she started kind of talking again. Um, so it was a nice ride, nice bus ride there and back, about an hour each way. And then you're there probably 2 to 3 hours. So altogether, from start to finish, you're looking at about a 5 hour tour, uh, minimum probably, at least 4 to 5 hours. And again, if you're a history person, you no doubt would love it. If you're not a history person, and maybe you want more excitement, more action packed, you like to go to the beach or something like that. There's other tours that can accomplish that. But if you do like history, or if you like seeing uh, ancient relics and different um, artifacts, things like that, then it's definitely worth going to see. We uh, we get back into Thessaloniki, and at that point, all of us are getting off the bus. The majority of the party that I was with, my friends that I were with, they all went back onto the ship. But my dad wanted to go back into town. So where our port was, where our ship was docked, was not that far away from downtown area. It was just like a little bit on the outskirts of it. You could take like a little taxi for maybe a couple euros to get you over there. You could walk it. It might take you a little while, um, depending on how fast you walk, I suppose. And they may have even had a complimentary shuttle. Anyways, we took like a little taxi cab for a couple of euros, went in there and walked around a little bit in the market area. Before we did, though, we did say bye to our tour guide. And again, I'll give her a shout out, Chryssa. I wish I could remember exactly how the pronunciation was, but she works for Jordan's Travel, and I thought they did a great job. I thought she did a fantastic job, so I definitely want to give her a shout out. And surprisingly, even saw her later on in my trip after we got off the cruise, and we went to Corinth for a day. She was giving somebody else a tour. This group of people from Kenya, we were given a tour by somebody else, but I saw her, recognized her, and it was so great to see her. So apparently, those certified tour guides can go all over Greece, and I give her a big shout out. She did a fantastic job, a lot of energy, knows her stuff, and I don't know if you'll have the pleasure of being able to have her be your tour guide if you go and let me book this for you. If you do, I think you're in great hands. All right, so we leave our friends. They're going back on the ship. We head towards town, get out there, and nice buildings all around, and it's right by the water, which is really pretty. So you can kind of imagine being in I mean, it's not like super tall skyscrapers or anything, but you're in a bustling little metropolis, and then you're also right by the water. So that was really pretty to look at. We kind of went on a holiday weekend kind of thing, that was Saturday, but the next day, Sunday, was Greek Easter or something to that effect. So not everything was going to be open that day to the next day. Somewhere. Anyways, so I decided, like, well, just to be safe, I need to get a shirt for the podcast. I went, shopped around, found this one. Wasn't my first choice of what I'd like to have something maybe up here, so it's not down here. I gotta prop myself up, but I found it, and I didn't have enough time to shop around because we had dinner plans at 6. Our reservation, we had the early dining, which was always at 6, and it was like around between 4 to 5 something by the time we got out to the city. So I didn't have a ton of time. I saw this. I looked at a couple stores after that. I'm like, all right, just pick this one. The store that I got this from was going to be closed the next day anyway. Let's get this. While there, we also went into one of their local bakeries. I felt like it was a little cramped, but they had a lot of stuff and nice people, very helpful, and it was super busy. Just in that area, I felt like it was like very busy. A lot of people coming and going. We went in there and got something to munch on. I had like this little honey churro looking thing, but They also like stuffed it with some kind of ice cream or something like that and put it in the fridge. That was actually pretty good. I really enjoyed that. And then we got out, walked around a little bit more, actually quite a bit more. We were trying to find something, didn't quite get to find it, but in doing so, we got to walk up and down the streets, real pretty streets, real pretty buildings. I thought I saw some nice things. Not nothing that's gonna you're gonna look at it and think, wow, this is a marvelous design or anything, but just nice enough. And then we went back from there, went back on the ship. We did stop actually at another bakery at one point, just so we could use the bathroom and use their Wi-Fi. We wanted to get online, and we were trying to ask for directions too for a certain place that we were looking for, but the guy didn't know. Anyways, and then from there we got okay. So one of my things I remember from being young are Loukoumades, which are like these little honey balls. I used to love those, and not every bakery has them for whatever reason. I don't know. Um, but we found them there in that bakery, so my dad just bought like the rest of them, and we took them to dinner and shared them with everyone. They were a little different. I think they used like a different dough. I still liked it, but my dad could tell the difference. My dad is he's currently now he owns his own painting business, but growing up in Greece, he actually was a pastry chef. He as a young I think he started when he was like a preteen or teenager, whatever it was years ago. He grew up working at a bakery and was a pastry chef. So he's huge on sweets and pastries. Um, when he's here at home, he stays away from sugar because he knows he needs to. But when he goes to Greece, then he lets his guard down a little bit more, and he'll go into a bakery and get something. And so with it, and my mom had a sweet tooth too. So it just I was doomed. I don't say I have a sweet tooth. I have sweet teeth. Like I I love sweets. It is my downfall. Every time we go in a bakery, he wants to get something. It's like okay, no arguments for me. Anyways, so we saw these honey balls. Something that it was my first time seeing on our trip. Granted, we'd only been there in Greece a few days at this point, but we saw them. All right, let's grab them all. Took them back. Shared them with everybody at dinner. They did like it. Um, I think some of it for some may have been a little too sweet. I think they kind of had it with their coffee to kind of help, but it did seem like they liked it. My dad didn't care for it as much just because of he could be real picky with it because he knows what is used and not used, and he didn't care for the dough that they used. I could tell there was a difference based on that too, but I still enjoyed them. And I'm glad we found them. I'm glad we got to have them. The next day, we me and my dad at some point. So we got to go around the city with our friends and go different places. And then eventually, when they all went back, again, this was kind of later on in the afternoon. Me and my dad walked down to well, we walked down, I guess you could say, along that water. And when you walk down the water, from where we were all the way down, I don't know, I don't want to say it was a mile, but it didn't even look that far to be honest with you. But as I continued walking, it's like, oh, yeah, this is a little bit further than it looks. But we're walking down, we're hugging the water, we keep going down there, and all the way in the distance, there's what's called the I think it's called the White Tower, and it's just like this, I don't know, watchtower looking type of structure that's down there. Um, we walk all the way down it by the water. The water is real pretty as we're walking down through it. We're seeing the town, same area that we saw before. And so we walk towards it, get up there, and it's closed. The holiday, it's closed. I was like, man, I really wanted to go in there because this is my first time at Thessaloniki, and this is one of their, uh, I don't know, I don't say that they're known for it, but it's something within that city that is a little bit of a landmark, I guess you could say. So I wanted to go in there. I wanted to see it. You could go up to the top. So I wanted to do it, but it was closed. Couldn't do it. I could take pictures. I went all around and took pictures from various angles. It looked pretty cool. I thought it would have been cool to go up there. Oh well. Maybe something you'd like to go see yourself. And again, let me book you a trip. You can go see it. Also around there, they had these pirate ships, which I thought was kind of cool. I'm like, what's up with the pirate ships? But apparently, these pirate ships, obviously not real pirates, um, but the people there that worked for them are dressed up like pirates. And I think even one was called the Black Pearl, which I got a kick out of, for any of you Pirates of the Caribbean fans out there. But I think what it does, it kind of takes you out and around the water, out around the sea there, and you can drink, have fun on the ship. Something to do. I don't think it's necessarily a ferry from take you here to there. I think it's like a little bit of a pleasure or like pleasure cruise, a pleasure pirate ship sort of thing you could go on and um, drink. I don't know if they have food or not. I don't know, but anyways, looked kind of fun. We didn't do it. It was pretty full, but something again. If you're in Thessaloniki and want to try it out again. Let me know. From there, we were getting kind of late again. Once again, we have a 6 o'clock dinner reservation, so had to start heading back. Had to start walking back. There was a bunch of umbrellas further down that coast, the beach, whatever it was, but we didn't. Time was kind of running out on us. Our friends that we met up with later on that didn't go with us earlier, they said that they walked down there. It wasn't too far, that they saw a lot of the umbrellas. I couldn't quite see them. I guess that's another thing too. They have a bunch of umbrellas there, um, all lined up, I guess. So we didn't go that far. I didn't get to see those. We started heading back, and we headed back, and we get back. The cruise line were handing out these like little sweetbreads that were wrapped up. We took some of those. Those were pretty good. I was munching on those. I know we were eventually going to eat dinner, but still got to munch on those. I didn't really get to eat a ton that day. Breakfast in the dining room, and then later on, I just kind of munched on a couple snacks here and there. We were real busy looking at a bunch of different things. Um, we got back, and I go in to go into the cruise. I look back. My dad's not with me. He's talking to somebody. My dad loves to talk. So I'm waiting. The people at security, they're like, you okay? You wanna sit down? No, he should be here. Waiting. Look out. He's still talking. I see him finally leaving. All right, he's coming. So I go back. I'm waiting. He's still not there. I go back out. He's talking again to somebody else. I'm like, all right, I'm done waiting. I'm going in. I'll see you at dinner. And so I get in. I leave him and then I go back. Not that long later, he comes back in. Like, I was waiting for you. I could only wait so long. So then we go to dinner together and enjoy it. Thessaloniki was really nice, and that second day was probably one of my favorite days on uh, this cruise. The things that we got to go see and the people we got to meet and everything ended up being one of my favorite days on this cruise. All in all, nice time in Thessaloniki, and I remember thinking, how do you say this place? Because I've heard so many things. I've heard Thessaloniki, Thessalonica, Thessalony, all these different things I've heard. Asked one of the locals, they said Thessaloniki. Okay. And I think it's kind of like part of, let me see, what is it? What does Thesla mean? Was it I don't remember now. But Nike it was like after the Greek god Nike, which was the god of victory. Everyone knows what Nike is, right? We've all seen the swoosh and know the shoes. Uh, that's based on the Greek god Nike. Um, so I don't know if it was like based on a war that they won years ago against somebody. I forgot who it was. Again, not a humongous history guy. Even when it comes to Greek mythology or Greek history, even the real history, not the myths. I know some stuff, but not like everything because history's not my passion. I know of it. I can appreciate it, but it's not my passion. Anyways, but that's kind of what it was. But I enjoyed it. It was both days were beautiful weather, um, not too cold, not too hot. A lot of nice things to see. Friendly people. Nice little bustling town to go visit. History not far away. So if it's something that appeals to you, sounds like something you'd like to go see and enjoy it as well, let me know. Again, you can reach out to me in a couple ways. You can email me at j.paradise@gmail.com. It's jay.paradise@gmail.com. You can reach out to me through Instagram or Facebook. Jay's Paradise Travels, Jays. There's no apostrophe in that. Jay's Paradise Travels. You can look me up on Instagram or Facebook and reach out to me that way. Also got some pictures on there. You can feel free to take a look at as well. And or you could leave a comment. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any thoughts on Thessaloniki itself. If you've ever been, maybe you've had a story you'd like to share, or whatever. If you have anything about it, love to hear about it and hear your thoughts and respond to you. So feel free to leave a comment too. Comments always appreciated. As well as if you did like this video, I ask that you actually like the video on YouTube, please. Also, feel free to share it with others. Trying to get my name out there. I'd like to be your travel agent as well as your friends and family travel agent. Try to make this world a happier place, one vacation at a time. So please feel free to share this video, like it, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you listening today, and definitely look forward to telling you more about other things here on my Greek cruise that I got to attend, or got to go on, I should say. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.